Ricky Martin has built a family of 4 children who have been a central part of his life since he first became a father. The twins Matteo and Valentino arrived in 2008 through surrogacy, marking the beginning of his journey into parenthood as a single dad at the time. Their names carry meaningful origins, with Matteo signifying a gift from God and Valentino meaning the brave one. Early descriptions noted Matteo as active and alert while Valentino was more serene and inclined toward sleep, earning him an affectionate nickname related to peace and love. As the twins grew, Martin supported their individual interests while remaining open to the possibility of them pursuing creative paths. He recalled his own father's support when he expressed artistic ambitions at a young age and expressed a commitment to clearing a path for his sons should they choose similar directions. Matteo has shown stronger inclinations toward the arts, while Valentino has expressed interest in video content and aspirations related to creating online material. The twins only fully grasped the scope of their father's public recognition around the ages of 5 or 6, when they experienced his performances from the audience rather than backstage, leading to a moment of realization about his identity that Martin described as beautiful. In later years, Martin married and expanded the family with the arrival of daughter Lucia and son Renn through surrogacy, born only months apart. Lucia's birth occurred on the same date as Martin's own, adding a personal layer of significance. Early public acknowledgments expressed deep love for the new baby and gratitude for the gift of life. Martin has spoken about the distinct experience of raising a daughter after 2 sons, noting the special dynamic that develops. Occasional shared images and videos have captured tender moments, including beach walks and affectionate interactions that highlight the bond. Renn's arrival completed the family of 4. Martin reflected on the different energy required for parenting younger children later in life compared with the earlier experience of raising the twins. He acknowledged the physical demands while affirming his strength and health. Shared glimpses of Renn have shown a lively personality even in early months, with captions referring to him as the baby of the household and noting his playful influence. Throughout the children's lives, Martin has prioritized privacy while occasionally offering warm public acknowledgments. At significant professional moments, he has dedicated achievements to them, stating that everything he does is carried out with them in mind and heart. The family structure has navigated changes, including the end of the marriage that brought the younger children into the household, with a stated commitment to maintaining a healthy dynamic focused on the children's well-being and joint upbringing grounded in peace and friendship. The twins have taken on protective roles with their younger siblings, described as naturally becoming caregivers who want to shield the babies. Rare public appearances, such as accompanying their father to an event, have offered brief windows into their growing presence. Martin's approach to fatherhood has emphasized support for whatever paths the children choose while providing the benefit of his own experience. The desire for a large family had long been part of Martin's outlook, even during periods when societal and personal circumstances made that vision feel distant. The realization of that hope through the 4 children represents a central fulfillment. Descriptions of the modern family structure and the freedom it represents have been shared in reflections on raising children with 2 fathers during the marriage years. Each child's distinct personality and interests contribute to a household that balances privacy with selective openness. Matteo's artistic leanings, Valentino's digital aspirations, Lucia's place as the only daughter and light of her father's eyes, and Renn's playful energy together form a complete picture of the family Martin has nurtured. The occasional social media glimpses serve as gentle reminders of the ongoing bonds rather than full exposure of their daily lives. Parenting across different stages has brought varying demands and rewards. The early years with the twins involved adjusting to the realities of infant care while already established in a public career. The later arrival of Lucia and Renn introduced a new intensity of responsibility at a different life stage, requiring sustained energy and presence. Martin's willingness to speak about both the joys and the practical challenges offers a grounded view of the experience. The children's awareness of their father's public life developed gradually, allowing them a measure of normalcy in earlier years. Support for their individual passions remains consistent, whether those interests align with performance, digital creation, or other directions. The protective instincts shown by the older brothers toward the younger siblings illustrate the natural bonds that have formed within the family. In moments of professional recognition, Martin has returned focus to the children, framing his work as connected to their presence in his thoughts and heart. This consistent centering of family underscores the priority placed on their well-being amid public demands. The commitment to a peaceful co-parenting arrangement after changes in the adult relationship further reinforces that focus. The 4 children represent the realization of a long-held vision of family. From the twins' arrival through surrogacy as a single parent to the later expansion of the household and the ongoing navigation of blended dynamics, Martin's path as a father has been marked by intentionality and affection. The selective sharing of moments allows the public a limited yet warm view of the relationships while protecting the children's primary space for private growth. Each name and early description carries layers of meaning that continue to resonate. The gift and the brave one for the twins, the shared birthday significance for Lucia, and the youngest's playful presence all contribute backslash of this ongoing story. Through both quiet dedication and selective sharing, the focus remains on nurturing 4 distinct lives within a supportive and loving framework. Dee Snider has issued a direct apology to Kelly Osbourne regarding comments he made about songwriting credits associated with her late father. In a public statement, he expressed regret that his words had caused her pain, clarifying that such an outcome had never been his intention, and offered sympathies on the loss of her father. The apology followed an explanation from another individual who noted that the comments appeared to have been received as diminishing a legacy rather than as a discussion of historical songwriting practices, and that tone can be lost in text-based exchanges. The original remarks had arisen in a discussion referencing claims by a former collaborator about lyric contributions on certain solo albums. Snider expanded on those points by asserting broader patterns regarding lyric writing for both the solo work and earlier group material, naming specific musicians associated with those contributions. The comments prompted a strong response defending the full scope of the father's musical legacy as a performer, songwriter, singer, and bandleader, emphasizing that friends, collaborators, fans, and ongoing record sales already affirm the lasting impact. The defense highlighted the extensive career spanning decades across group and solo achievements, contrasting it with a more limited period of mainstream visibility for the other artist. It characterized the comments as classless given that the subject could no longer respond, questioned the private knowledge underlying the remarks, and suggested the possibility of attention-seeking motivations. A subsequent clarification from Snider stated that he held only positive feelings toward the late musician, described personal interactions as lovely, and noted the transformative influence of the earlier group work, while acknowledging sensitivity around credit and royalties as a songwriter. The exchange continued with further critique, describing the clarification as a backhanded compliment and accusing the comments of convenient association when relevance was sought. The response called for the name to be left out of future discussion and framed the remarks as the product of bitterness and fading visibility. The eventual apology addressed the hurt caused while reiterating the absence of harmful intent and extending condolences. The episode illustrates the sensitivities surrounding discussions of creative credit, especially when they intersect with recent loss and public defense of a lasting legacy. Songwriting contributions in collaborative musical settings often involve complex histories of attribution, payment, and recognition that can remain contested over time. Public commentary on those histories carries particular weight when directed toward a figure whose overall artistic impact is widely acknowledged. The apology itself focuses on the personal impact rather than a full retraction of the historical claims. By acknowledging the hurt and stating the lack of intent to cause it, the statement prioritizes the relational and emotional dimension. The addition of sympathies on the loss further situates the response within the context of ongoing grief. Public discussions of musical legacies frequently involve competing narratives about individual versus collaborative authorship. Defenses of a complete body of work often emphasize the broader contributions of performance, leadership, and cultural influence that extend beyond any single aspect of creation. The strong language used in response reflected a protective stance toward a parent's enduring reputation. Clarifications that affirm personal regard and historical influence attempt to separate respect for the individual from debates over specific credits. Sensitivity to royalty and attribution issues is common among those whose livelihoods have depended on such recognition. The challenge lies in expressing those perspectives without appearing to reduce a multifaceted career to contested details. The final apology seeks to close the cycle of exchange by centering the effect on the recipient. Recognizing that text can strip tone and that interpretations may diverge from original intent provides a pathway toward de-escalation. Extending condolences acknowledges the human reality of loss that frames the entire discussion. In the wider landscape of music commentary, exchanges of this nature highlight the difficulty of separating technical discussions of process from emotional defenses of legacy. When the subject of commentary is no longer able to participate, the responsibility for careful framing increases. The sequence of claim, defense, clarification, further critique, and apology demonstrates how quickly such conversations can intensify and the value of stepping back to address personal impact. The apology stands as an attempt to repair the specific hurt expressed while leaving the underlying historical points as matters of ongoing debate among those interested in the details of creative collaboration. By focusing on intent and sympathy, it prioritizes the human element over prolonged public contention. The episode serves as a reminder of the lasting emotional weight carried by discussions of artistic contribution, especially within families navigating recent bereavement. Article 4. Rewritten text concerning Simone Biles supporting Jonah.